Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're looking at a game on Nintendo Switch called XEL. I'd like to thank Assemble Entertainment for providing review code for this. So basically, is what we're doing today is kind of looking at this game. You know, it's coming out for Switch. I believe it will be on the 17th, and then it launches on Steam tomorrow, so you can pick this up on Steam or your Nintendo Switch. The review copy that I got is for the Nintendo Switch, so that is the coverage that I'll be doing on this and the video that I will be using. So I've been playing this game for a little while now, and I've seen some stuff. When I first started playing this, I was like, oh my gosh, this game looks pretty freaking generic. And then I was like, so I kept playing a little bit. And it was the gameplay that kind of like sucked me in, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool, man. This gameplay is pretty cool. Going around, you know, it starts off, you know, kind of simple combat, you know, whatever, and you know, like blocking with the shield. Doing like these little environmental type puzzles. The way the game is kind of built, the way it's like it kind of has that Diablo feel to it, like that top-down 2D isometric, but it's 3D. It's kind of cool. So at first you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, man, this game is generic. But then as you start to explore and like get into things, like it opens up, it gets bigger. The map is pretty big. The environments, they're a lot more varied than what you were looking at in the first place. So one of the reasons why I was looking, I'm gonna tell you this right now. One of the reasons it started looking a little bit generic and kind of blown out is because I am playing this on a 1440p monitor. I did undock my Switch and take a look at it, and it looks way better on the Switch screen than what I was getting, you know, on the full screen on the 1440p monitor. And I'm not saying that looks bad. It was just that first area that was like, oh boy. But then once you get past that first area, it probably take you like 15 minutes to get past that. I mean, it's not really long at all. You'll get into like this city, and then there's like branching paths to go into other directions and stuff. This game is like fully voice recorded too. So that's pretty cool. I know that you're able to get that on the Switch. It's pretty cool. Like, the dialogue is pretty good. It's pretty funny. This is definitely an indie game, and I mean, they say it's an indie game, whatever. I saw this when I was checking out this website, you know, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and give me a let me check that out, man. I would love to cover that on my channel. And they accepted that, and I was like, that's pretty cool, man. So I will definitely do a video on this. All the footage that I have that I'll be showing you, this is kind of cherry pick footage because I want you to like this game. I mean, because it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of sucking me in. You got a female protagonist, Reed. The Desmond dude. I mean, that was my son's name, so I mean, that was easy for me to that was easy for me to be like, oh yeah, cool, and it started sucking me in a little bit too. And yeah, man, this game is pretty fun, man. Like, this is something that you definitely would like to play on a Nintendo Switch. This is perfect game for Nintendo Switch. Perfect quality for Nintendo Switch, to be completely honest with you. I believe the price is going to be pretty reasonable on this game when it launches here in the next week or so. So I mean, it's not something that's going to be like this gonna break the bank, but this game is going to offer you some pretty solid gameplay. I've been playing it for, you know, a couple hours, like I said, and man, I literally was so entrenched in this game when my wife just brought me food, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm still recording that. So I turned around and I got all the recording, and I'm like, oh my gosh, man. So I hurry up and stop it, and I'm like, dude, I need to just do a first impressions on this game. It's pretty cool, man. I'm liking it. Like I said, once you get out of that first area and you start to see more of what's going on in this world, it's like, it's pretty cool. Like, the combat is pretty, you know, like hit, you know, dash, move out of the way type stuff. So I mean, it is pretty cool. You got a dash button. You got you build up your it kind of feels a little bit like a Zelda game. You got the hearts for your life or whatever. And it kind of feels like one of those old Zelda games, but it's more like your character's more full bodied. It's not just like a little square, like it's good looking. I mean, obviously you're seeing the video right now that I'm showing you why I'm doing this too. I like this game. I think it's pretty solid. Everything that I've seen in it so far has got me thinking like, yeah, this is pretty good. Now, I am going to stress that the code I got is early code. This is not launch code. I have run into some slowdown in certain areas, some drastic frame rates dropping and stuff. It doesn't last for a very long time, but in this one section right outside the city, I was running to the left, and man, you could just feel it. It was like 10 frames a second or something. The game is 30 frames a second. It's running at 30 frames a second. And that was the one time that I felt like, oh man, this is a little bit rough. And like you'll see like some of the stuff kind of pop in and things like that. But this is early code. There might be a day one patch that's coming out with this. That's why I want to stress that real quick. That this is early code. It could potentially get better. From what I've played, this is a pretty fun game. It might feel a little generic at first, but the protagonist, she's kind of growing on me a little bit quick. The boss battle that I fought was pretty intense. It took me like 3 times to get past that. You got to learn the move set, stuff like that, and then once you do that, it was fairly simple. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like the exploration is like you'll be running in this path and it'll look like it's like there's nowhere else to go, like it's a dead end, and then boom, you run right through it, and it's cool. Like it just keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And I'm serious, if my wife wouldn't have interrupted me, I would still be sitting there playing and playing and playing. So I wanted to hurry up, pull myself away, make a first impressions video, get this out so that you can at least see what this game is, because I don't know if a lot of people are going to cover this, and this is one of those games that would easily fall through the cracks if there wasn't somebody shining some light on it. And let's face it, man, the world's falling apart right now. You want something that's going to entertain you, but you don't want to spend $70. So while you're waiting on that next AAA banger, might I suggest you give XEL at least look at it, at least watch some video on it, at least try to find out more what it is. I will be updating this coverage here shortly. I'm going to play through some more of it. When it launches, when it actually launches, I will wait and see if there's an update for it. If I get an update for it, then I will play it some more and kind of look at things and see how things are. But as it sits right now, this is definitely a pretty cool experience. It's not. I mean, it is a little bit challenging for real. There's a lot of combat and stuff in this game. It does pick up, but you can upgrade yourself. You can upgrade your weapons. You can. There's a lot, man. I think this game is going to turn out to be pretty good. If I had to like compare this to anything, there was a game called Recore on the Xbox. It kind of gives me those vibes, but with like a 2D isometric thing, and then there's like more people to talk to. All of the NPCs are actually, you can interact with them. There's a pretty decent sized hub that you can run around and like talk to people. There's a shop that you can buy stuff. There's another shop where you can upgrade your equipment. It's pretty fun, man. Like I'm hoping that this game does pretty good, man. I really like playing these indie games every now and then. I've been trying to cover them more often on the channel. Trying to give these guys a pretty decent gosh dang it. I want to be able to cover these games, man. They're pretty fun, and it looks like the ones that are really pushing boundaries nowadays when it comes to gaming are the indie developers. I found a lot of really cool AA games lately. I found a lot of really cool indie games that I've been able to try and experience. So that's what I got to say about XEL for right now. XEL is an interesting game that's kind of got my attention. I love the fact that I'll be able to take my Switch with me and keep playing this. I've been trying to cover Nintendo Switch stuff a little more often on the channel, just so that I can, you know, have something a little more rounded. And yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I'll be taking this with me, playing it on lunch for the next week or so that I can get as much of it completed and as much content out, so I can try to get a review up for it on launch day. But as it sits right now, here's the first impressions, and I will let you watch this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the footage, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.